The former Ukip leader is expected to hold talks with Mr Barnier on Monday in Brussels to discuss Britain's departure from the bloc. Mr Farage demanded a meeting after a group of Remainers including Sir Nick Clegg, Kenneth, Clarke and Lord Adonis all travelled to the EU for a meeting. The bloc's chief Brexit negotiator, Labour leader Jeremy Corbyn and First Minister Nicola Sturgeon also joined the list of politicians who have been granted meetings with the Frenchman. Speaking on his LBC show, Mr Farage explained that he was representing the 17.4 million people who voted to leave and wanted to know if Mr Barnier would represent Brussels or the people who live in the EU. Getty LBC Brexit News. Nigel Farage spoke ahead of his meeting with Michel Barnier. He said, "Let's hope we get some sensible, positive answers. I am also very curious to know who is he representing. Is he representing Brussels and the European project? Or is he acting in the interests of the countries, the companies and the workers of Europe? All of my friends that I talk to across Europe say, do you know what? We want a simple free trade deal with the European Union because actually we sell you guys quite a lot of stuff. So it is really in the interests of millions of people across Europe for a good deal to be done. But I just begin to wonder, and perhaps Mr Barnier will tell me I am wrong, but I begin to wonder whether this isn't about preserving the European project and to hell with what it means for the people of Europe, or Britain or elsewhere. I am also very curious to know who is he representing." Nigel Farage. Nigel Farage was first denied a formal meeting with Mr Barnier back in November. The former Ukip leader said he was offered to meet the Frenchman in the members' bar after he was contacted by Mr Barnier's office, instead of being granted a formal offer. The British MEP vowed to write back and secured his meeting with the chief Brexit negotiator. In his letter to Mr Barnier, the former Ukip leader wrote, "As you appear to be conducting a series of meetings with UK political figures on the issue of Brexit, I wish to make a request. It seems that you are listening to a group of people who want to stop or delay Brexit. I will come to speak for the 17.4 million who did not vote for a transition deal or any further delays and whose resolve is getting stronger." The Open Britain Pressure Group, which is campaigning for the UK to keep strong links with Brussels, reacted angrily to news of Mr Farage's meeting with Mr Barnier. Friday, December 8, 2017. Here is the 15-page Brexit deal in full. Open Britain Executive Director James McGrory said, "Sending Nigel Farage to Brussels to sort out Brexit is like sending an arsonist to put out a house fire." But former Labour Prime Minister Tony Blair, who is fighting to block Brexit, said, "People like Nigel Farage are entitled to say what they think. I'd like to be a fly on the wall in that meeting, but yeah, why not? He's perfectly entitled to see him." After meeting with a number of Remainers, Mr Barnier made clear that he would only negotiate Britain's exit from the bloc with the UK government, but said that his door was always open.